morning, guys. Today we're going to be covering equations of circles, section 10.8. We'll learn how to write an equation of a circle and graph a circle on a coordinate plane. Your homework exercises are the worksheet that Ms. Tesning has for you, if you'll work all of those. Today, we'll start with an equation of a circle in standard form. The equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared, where h and k are the center of the circle and r is equal to the radius. I'll also get you to write down the area of a circle. The equation for an area of a circle is equal to pi r squared, and the circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi r, or pi d pi d. So 2 pi r, or d times pi. As you know, the radius is 2 times the radius is equal to the diameter. So on my circle over here, I have the center at h and k and the radius at r. So for my first example that I have up here, it says write an equation for a circle given the center at -2, 4, and the radius is equal to 5. So the first thing we should do is write down the equation in standard form. It's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Then we should go back and plug in the information that we have for the center and the radius. We have the center of h and k, which is -2 and 4. So this is actually x minus a minus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 5 squared. But nobody writes it as x minus a minus 2. Everybody writes it as x plus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 5 squared, or you could write 25. The next question is a little tricky, so be careful when you read your questions to understand what information they give you. It says write an equation of a circle given the center is at -6 and -7 and the diameter is equal to 8. So you're given the diameter, but you need the radius. So how much or what is the radius? Well, remember the diameter is twice the radius, so the radius would be equal to 4. But read your question carefully so you know that you're given the radius or whether you're given the diameter. So once again, the equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So we'll plug our numbers in for the center, so x minus a minus 6 squared plus y minus a minus 7 squared is equal to 4 squared. You can leave your answer like that, or you can go ahead and square 4 and get 16. But that's an acceptable answer. Example number 3 says, write an equation for a circle given the center is the origin and the radius is equal to 24. Well, everybody knows that the origin is at 0, 0, and they gave you the radius is 24. So we know that this is h and k. So the equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So we put this in, we get x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared is equal to 24 squared. You can leave your answer like this, or you can rewrite it. This is actually x squared plus y squared is equal to 24 squared. Our next example says write an equation of a circle given the center and a point on the circle. This is a little different because we don't have the radius. In order to write an equation of a circle, we have to have the radius. So the best way to write this or work this problem, and I have this graph here so that we could just plot the points and sort of get an idea of what we're talking about. We're at -6 and -7, so we have a center here. We have a point on the circle at 5 and 3. So this is the center, -6 and -7. And this is a point 5 and 3 on the circle. So like I said, that's the center, and this is a point on the circle. The first thing we're going to do is plug our center in. So we plugged our center in, and we have x plus 6 squared plus y plus 7 squared is equal to r squared. In order to find the radius, we would plug in our point. Our point represents x and y, which is some point on the curve. So what we'll do is we'll plug those numbers in for x and y. Once we plug those numbers in, we want to add those two together, so we get 11 squared plus 10 squared is equal to r squared. So we get 121 plus 100 is equal to r squared. We have r squared is equal to 221. Well, we needed r squared for our equation, so we don't really have to find the square root of 221. So if we go back to our first equation, we have x plus 6 squared plus y plus 7 squared. And now we know that r squared is equal to 221. So now we have our equation for a circle that has a center at -6 and -7, and it has a point on the circle at 5 and 3. Our next equation or problem has given the equation x squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 9, graph the circle. So we have to pick out the center, and then we have to get the radius. So this is really x minus 0 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 9. Well, the center is 0 and 3, and r squared is equal to 9, so r is equal to 3. Once we have our center and the radius, then we'll plot our points and draw a circle. So our center is at 0 and 3, so we're at 0 and 3 here. And we have a radius of 3. My suggestion is for you to go up 3 units, so 1, 2, 3 units, down 3 units, 1, 2, 3 units, to the right of the center 3 units, 1, 2, 3 units, and to the left 1, 2, 3 units. That'll give you some points on the circle so that when you draw your circle, it's not looking like a football. I usually go back and plug in some more points so that when I draw my circle, it looks more like a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that's the way to graph a circle. Problem number 6 is similar. You need to pick the center off the equation. So the center here would be negative 5 and 3. R squared is equal to 16, so R is equal to 4. So you have a center at negative 5 and negative 3, and you have a radius of 4. So we'll go over negative 5 and up to positive 3. Once again, you would count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have a circle that looks like that. Everybody's circle look okay? The next two problems are similar. You have to find the center and the radius and graph the so the center here on number 7 is 6 and negative 4. R squared is equal to 16, so R is equal to 4. So we have a circle at 6 and negative 4, have a radius of 4. And we have a circle. So your circle, once again, doesn't have to be perfect, but try to make it as good as possible. The next example, you'll notice I have x squared plus y squared is equal to 25. So where is the center? This is actually x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared is equal to 5 squared. So we know that the center is at the origin. So we have a center at 0, 0. And we have a radius of 5. So hopefully you could plot a center here and then go up 5 over 5 and down 5. And you have yourself a circle. Any questions so far? The next problem gives you a point on the circle and the center and asks you to graph the problem or write an equation. It is already graphed. But this problem is a lot like one that we did before. Where they gave you the center and a point on the circle and asked you to write the equation. So they are giving us the center at 3, 3. And a point on the circle at 6, 6. So let's write our equation. So x minus 3 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to r squared. Again, we don't have the radius and we have to find it, so we're going to plug in 6 and 6 for x and y. So we have 6 minus 3 squared plus 6 minus 3 squared is equal to r squared. So we have 3 squared plus 3 squared is equal to r squared. So we have 9 plus 9 is equal to r squared. So r squared is equal to 18. So we go back to write the equation. We'll go back to the original and say x minus 3 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to r squared, but we found that r squared was equal to 18. So we now have an equation for a circle with a center at 3, 3, and a point on the circle at 6. The last example that I have, I've written out the steps. It says find the points of intersection between the circle x squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 4 and a line at y is equal to x, which is the identity. So let's start by graphing our circle. The center is at 0 and 2. And it has a radius of 2. So we'll plot these points. We have a center at 0 and 2. Have a radius of 2, so we'll go up 2, over 2, and down 2, and draw our circle. Next, we want to graph our line. The equation that we have for the line is y is equal to x. So we'll put together a chart to plug in some numbers. If we plug in 0, we get 0. We plug in 1, we get 1. We plug in -1, we get -1. So we have 0, 0 as a point on our line, and then 1, 1, and -1, -1. And then we have 2, 2. When we draw our line, we have a picture that looks like that. So we see that the points of intersection on our circle and our line, so where our line and our circle intersect, are 2, 2, and 0, 0. We know that those are points on our line because we plugged them in our chart. But if we plug these same numbers in our circle equation, we'll see that equation is true. So if we go back to our equation, we have x squared plus y minus 2 squared is 4. So if we plug in 2 squared plus 2 minus 2 squared, 4. Get 4 plus 0 is equal to 4, so 4 is equal to 4. And if we plug in 0, we get 0 squared plus 0 minus 2 squared is equal to 4. We get 0 plus 4 is equal to 4, and 4 is equal to 4. So we know that these 2 points are the points where the line intersects the circle. So that's it for today. You have your worksheet, which you can work in class now and complete for homework. Have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye.